This is just Bob Bowman, and I'm coming with another video. And in this video, I want to discuss something that I left off with when I talked about in a few videos ago about how passport is only the first step into being a better version of yourself and doing what it is you need to do in order to improve your life. And it's another step that you need to take in order to improve yourself. And I wanted to talk about it in more in depth. I talked about a little bit during that video, but I didn't. I want to show some examples with this one, and this one is a little bit embarrassing, but it's something that is needed. Like a lot of people don't know that they need, these lessons, and sometimes you could probably think that you're doing good on it, but then in actuality, you're not doing so good, and it's just about being more aware of what's going on and being aware of yourself personally. And what I'm talking about is personal hygiene. Now, me growing up, I didn't know about like the different types of soaps and natural soaps and different types of toothpastes and different types of mouthwash, different types of shampoo and conditioner, you know, different types of deodorant. Like, what's the difference between this deodorant and that deodorant? And like, it was a lot of trial and error growing up. And I will say that um, in the beginning month of 2021 is when I really started paying closer attention to like the type of soaps I use and what smells the best for me personally, what gets me the cleanest. um, because I was using a lot of soaps, not understanding the ingredients that was used to create those soaps, and a lot of it was having bad reactions to my skin personally. And if you have sensitive skin, uh, you have to really watch what it is that you put on your body. And your skin is the largest organ on your body, so you have to really pay attention to what it is that you putting on your the largest organ on your body. Because if you putting the wrong things on it, you're going to have certain reactions. Like, I had times where I would wash up, and I know I washed up, and not even a few hours later, it will smell like I didn't take a shower or anything like that. And the reason being is because the types of soap I was using, um, they weren't good for my skin. Like a lot of soaps out here, especially the cheap soaps, the ones that you get from the dollar stores, those shower gels, those soaps are deodorizers, which really doesn't solve the issue of actually cleaning you. It only has a smell and a suds effect to it that make you think that you've cleaned all the areas that you need, and it's not really getting you clean the way that you need to be cleaned. And so what I had to realize and understand is that I couldn't be cheap as far as personal hygiene. I had to spend a decent amount of money, and I had to build up my supply on my personal hygiene products. So, you know, I would be able to take care of myself, smell good, feel better about myself if I'm around people. They not gonna think in the back of their mind like, man, this dude he not smelling good. Like something is wrong with him. The type of deodorants I was using, like some of the deodorants, like Degree, it worked for me, but it also had aluminum in it, which would cause me to break out and cysts underneath my arms, and eventually that would cause me to have even a worse smell of using those sports deodorants. Yeah, those are pretty terrible for certain people with certain type of skin, because I would break out underneath my arms, and the smell from that breakout was terrible. So with that being said, I just wanted to go over certain things that I use as far as my personal hygiene that's helped me. Like, I get around people and I get compliments all the time now about how I smell. Like, they always be like, "Man, you smell good. Like, what are you doing?" Like, but I want to just give examples of what it is that I use that has helped me in getting a better result on my personal hygiene. The first thing I want to talk about is the natural soaps that I use. This one is called Dr. Bronner's 18 and 1 hemp tea tree pure Castile soap. And they look like this. They come in this bottle. One thing about this soap that I really like is that not only can you use this for your personal hygiene, like some people also use this type of soap to clean up around the house or wash dishes and things like that. That's because of the different types of materials in here, because it got hemp oil and it's made with certified fair trade organic oils. If I read off the ingredients, they say it's water in here, organic coconut oil, potassium hydroxide, organic palm kernel oil, organic olive oil, tea tree extract, organic hemp seed oil, organic jojoba oil, citric acid, and tocopherol. And that's not a lot of ingredients for the soap, but this soap, it smells so good. Like, when I say it smells good, it smells really, really good. And when I take a shower and I use this, I feel so refreshed after using this. And the price of this bottle and everything that I'm showing here, you can buy at Walmart. And the price of this bottle is about $15 a bottle. And I know some people are like, wow, that's a lot for this type of soap. I really don't want to spend that much for a bottle of soap. And you also have alternatives if you don't want to spend $15 for a bottle of soap, even though I'm telling you it's worth the price. But Walmart, they also have an alternative, and it's called Equate Castile soap. And it's pretty much the same thing, except for it costs half the price. Like, it's $7 for this bottle of soap instead of paying 14, $15 for the first one. But it smells just as good. It has the same ingredients as the Dr. Bronner soap, and you're going to come out smelling really good and feeling really refreshed after using this as well. And these run out real quick. So when you see these at Walmart, you want to pick up this and buy it, purchase it, and put it to use as quickly as possible, because sometimes when I go up into Walmart, I can't find any of these types of soaps. But I also have an alternative if you can't find that type of soap, and that's this Kirk's Castile soap, which is a 3-in-1 head to toe, and you can use this to wash your hair as well. But I use this specifically just for the body, and that costs about $7. And I know that some people saying, "Wow, that's still too much just for some soap," and that's why you have bars of soap. And Kirk's also have bars of Castile soap. And this soap, like these 4 bars, it costs like about $5 for 4 bars. And that's very affordable if you don't want to spend that much money on a bar of soap and you want it to last for a while. Just buy the Kirk's bars of soap. These also run out really fast. So if you see these, you might want to purchase this really quick and really soon. Now that I talked about the full body and getting your full, and you want to try to get in all the cracks and crevices, everything when you washing up. You know what I'm saying? Like, one thing that I also done is that I have a whole bunch of washcloths. Like, I have about 18, 19. So I do my best not to use a washcloth more than twice. And after I use it the second time, that I put it in a dirty clothes hamper, because I do not want to keep using the same towel to wash myself in, because eventually the bacteria will build up on that towel, even though you're putting that really nice soap on it, and it'll be defeating the purpose because you still transferring all those bacteria back on yourself. And once you have those bacteria on yourself, you'll be easily prone to break out more, break out in pimples, break out and agitate any hairs that you have and cause ingrown hairs, cysts, and things of that nature. So you really have to be careful with um, using a washcloth more than twice. Some people they only use it once. And another thing that I use besides the washcloth, 3 times a week I use this scrubber and scrub my whole body with this. That way to make sure I get all the dead skin off of myself. Make sure that I'm reaching all those spots, especially on my back that probably ain't been touched with the washcloth, and getting everything, making sure that I'm 100% clean. And I bought this. This is about $5, and it's very well worth it. Um, as far as shampoos and conditioners, I like to use things that are natural. Uh, I try to not use like the name brand stuff that everybody else will use that have a lot of chemicals or the cheap stuff, because that stuff usually doesn't work that good. But one product I like to use is uh, Beauty and Planet, and this is the shampoo version of it. They had different scents, and like it always smells good no matter which one that I get. And this one that I got is Maroon Butter and Rose, and this the conditioner. And like I said, they have more than just this one particular scent. Now that we talked about the hair and we talked about the body, the next thing that we want to talk about is the face, and making sure that you have products that will help with the face. And one thing that I like to use is I like to use uh, this is a scrub. This is an apricot scrub. It costs about $6. And one thing that I do is I put like a little bitty generous amount, and I rub it all over my face while I'm in the shower and scrub it in and make sure that my skin is exfoliated using this, because that's what this is for. It's to get all the dead skin and all the oil that's trapped in the skin out. And once I use that, I would use some Noxzema, or I would use Equate, which is the same thing as Noxzema. And this is a skin cream. It has eucalyptus in it, and it it cleans, and it also refreshes the skin, so it'll feel really smooth and really comfortable, and it'll help with keeping down all the dead skin and bacteria, as well as using some Noxzema pads. But I have the Equate version of it, and this is like the final thing that I use to rub over my face to make sure that it's clear and that it's clean. So now that we finished with that, I had to change the type of deodorant that I use, because, like I said, like when I was younger, when I was in high school, and I was playing sports, I would buy like the sports deodorant, but then it'll make me break out underneath my arms. Like sometimes the skin will peel off, and it'll be itchy, and the smell was terrible. And then I would use something like Degree, which works. However, it has aluminum in it, and that aluminum would get absorbed into my skin, and sometimes I would break out in these little cysts underneath my underarms, and it was unpleasant to deal with. And then I had a friend that taught me about different deodorants to use. You have things like Tom's deodorant, which is good. Equate has a version of Tom's. This is the Equate version of it. It's apricot scent. It smells really good and it lasts really long. So you can see like you had a smelly good shampoo, a smelly good body wash or soap, and then the smell good deodorants. So you have that. Another one that I like to use is Dr. Teal's. All these deodorants that I'm showing have no aluminum. So this is Dr. Teal's. It's eucalyptus, something else that smells really good, and it gives you that refreshment type of scent on you where people be like, "Wow, like he really takes care of himself." And another one that I like to use is Ivory, the Ivory deodorant, and this is aluminum free. I wouldn't use the soap, but the deodorant I would use because it has no aluminum in it, and it's a little bit better for the skin. All right, so now we talked about the hair, the body, the face, under the arms. Next, we want to talk about teeth. And I do my best to stay away from toothpaste that has fluoride in it. And one type of toothpaste that I like to use is Burt's Bees. This is charcoal with whitening ingredients in it, so I could get like a little nice smile. Another one that I like to use is Tom's toothpaste. Like Tom has a lot of different hygiene products like deodorant and toothpaste and things of that nature that people use, and like they're a really good product. And Walmart, they have their off-brand version of it, which is called Equate, and that's what I'm using here. This is Equate anti-plaque and whitening. I really like this, even though it's not Tom's, it's just as good as Tom's. um, Another thing, and I'm not gonna insult you with showing you a toothbrush because I'm sure that a lot of you brush your teeth. But this right here is a tongue scraper, and this I use like after I brush my teeth, and get rid of all the stuff from brushing my teeth. I use this and go over my tongue, and this is something that I replace at least 3 times a year. I don't want to use it more than 3 times a year. Like, once every 4 months, I replace this. But this is to help keep the tongue clean as well. If you're really you know, like myself, and this is me being honest, like I had an issue with my breath at one point, but using that tongue scraper and getting all the bacteria off of my tongue, it really helped with me having better breath, as well as brushing twice a day and making sure that I go to my regular dentist checkups. And speaking of the dentist, um, back in 2020, I went through my first deep cleaning because I was showing like the beginning signs of having a periodontal disease, and that's when they had to go all the way up inside your gums and clean out all the plaque that's been built up inside the gums. And it was a very painful experience. And ever since going through that, I've been more cognizant of how I take care of my teeth. Like that's the reason why I changed my toothpaste. I changed the way that I brush my teeth. Um, I also, instead of using floss, regular floss, I use these plackers. And don't be cheap because they like the Family Dollar and the dollar stores. They have versions of these, but they don't really work as good as these. Like this one, it has like 2 lines in it to where it makes sure that it gets all of that plaque off of your teeth. This right here is good. This is a dry mouth oral rinse. I don't like using the regular mouthwash like Listerine or Scope, especially Scope. I don't like using that, and I definitely wouldn't use that dollar store mouthwash. Like that stuff is useless. All it does is taste good and it makes your breath smell decent for a couple of hours, but your breath will go back smelling bad after a while. But Biotine, they have the original version of this, but I buy the Equate because you get a lot more and it does the same thing as the Biotine. And when I had went through the deep cleaning back in 2020, they gave me Biotine to rinse out my mouth during those days to when my gums were healing back up. So I just stuck with this because I'm like, if it's good enough for the dentist, then it's good enough for me. All right, so we talked about the hair, we talked about the face, the teeth, the body. Next thing that we want to talk about is taking care of the feet. And invest in one of these. This is to scrape all the dead skin off of the bottom of your feet. That's what the purpose of this is, to get it get all that dead skin off. It's another tool that goes along with this. It looks like a rock and it has pores in it. And it's like once you finish scraping your feet with the instrument that I just put up here, use that rock to help remove all the leftover dead skin that's on your feet to get your feet really smooth. And once you get your feet really smooth, you want to have some type of oil to help with keeping your feet smooth. And one thing that I like to use is tea tree oil for that. And now that we talk about oils and keeping the feet good, we want to focus on the nails as well. And this is a nail kit. And as you can see, it's multiple type of nails in here. Um, you have the big one for the toes, of course. You have the small ones for the fingers. Um, this right here is to help with filing down a nail or to get into those tough spots to get the nail separated from the skin. That's if you have a problem with fungus. And then you have this little snip cutter, and you can use this to kind of get rid of like the cubicles. And then also, if you have like a really tough nail that's hard to, like get off of your foot, to cut off your foot, you can use this for that. Um, and it's worth the investment. Also, I didn't bring it up with me, but I have a trimmer to help with keeping my facial hair, uh, you know, looking decent in between haircuts, and also have some regular clippers that I keep my beard down because myself personally, my beard doesn't look good once it starts growing out. Like it gets real patchy looking. So I just keep it low, like how it is right now. This is as best as it's gonna look. You know what I'm saying? Like at least I have a full beard. Like some people don't have a beard at all. So I'm happy for that. Oh, it was one thing that I forgot to mention, and that's that with the body wash, and you're getting rid of the skin with the back scrubber or the body scrubber. You also want to have something to help with keeping the dead skin at bay. And this is Neutrogena Skin Perfecting Blend. It has a 9% AHA PHA blend. And this is to help with keeping like those bumps that develop on the back and on the thighs and the buttocks sometimes, keeping that at bay. Like, get you some of this. I have several bottles of this that I use. This costs about $16. So it is kind of expensive, but it's worth it if you care about how your skin look. As far as hair, I like to use coconut oil on my head. And the reason being is because like it helps my hair feel smooth and it brings out the waves and it smells so good. And on top of having smell good body wash, smell good soap, and I mean smell good shampoo and conditioner, uh, you know, having my teeth, my breath smelling good, my teeth clean. You have some good coconut oil on the head and on the beard. It's gonna it's gonna pop. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna smell good. Like people gonna notice. Like I'm telling you, once I changed the way that I took care of myself and my personal hygiene, like a lot of people noticed, they were like, "Man, you always come around smelling good now." Uh, but for the finale, I want to talk about the different colognes, and this is something that I learned from listening to people. Like, you want to have one white cologne, and you want to have one blue or dark cologne, and then I also like to have a cologne that I wear every day when I'm not going anywhere important, but I just want to put some cologne on. But as far as the white colognes, what I like to use, this is Yves Saint Laurent. I don't remember what version this is, but this is like the regular type of cologne. This is the white cologne, and this smells really good. Like, I started using this back in 2015. Yeah, 2015 is when I started using this, and this has always been in my rotation. Just this past summer, Yves Saint Laurent, they came out with a blue version, and this is really good. Like, this smells so good. The only thing is that I can't use a lot of this, because if I use too much of it, it'll overpower all the other smells that I got going on. And if I step into the room with too much of this on, like, all eyes are going to be on me, and not for the good reason. They're going to be like, "Wow, like, this dude put on way too much cologne." So only a few sprays of the Yves Saint Laurent blue, what I would put on myself. But as far as my everyday cologne that I like to put on, and I like to go old school with this. And I remember back in high school when I always wanted to wear this cologne, but I didn't have the money to afford it, and nobody would buy it for me because it was deemed too expensive at the time for me to have this. But this is Jordan cologne, the original Jordan cologne, and I really like wearing this every day. And sometimes if I want to wear my Jordans going somewhere, I might just put this on instead of the Yves Saint Laurent, you know. So this is a good everyday cologne that I purchased and I use. And, I like, this is to help with keeping the more expensive, more smelly good colognes from running out so soon. I use this one on a daily basis, and I just bought this bottle like a couple of weeks ago, so that's why it's so full. But anyway, that's all I have as far as the personal hygiene items, and I'm hoping that somebody out there will listen to this and be able to take note on everything that I said. Like, I'm not trying to be offensive and say that some of you people, y'all stink or whatever. That's not my intention. My intention is to inform you, to help you with getting better at certain things. Like, if you want to live a life where you're always improving, even the smallest things that you're improving on can make a big difference. Like I said, people always tell me how good I smell now, when a long time ago it was the opposite. And it wasn't because it was because I didn't know any better. But not knowing isn't an excuse, especially when you're a man. And since I'm a generous man, I would like to give out the information that I learned the hard way to you, to where you don't have to learn it so hard. But anyway, other than that, if you like the videos that I'm doing, please like, share, and subscribe. This is just Bob Bowman, and I'm out.